What's up, you guys? Welcome back to the Christian Witch Podcast. I'm your host, Chosen, also known as at ChristianWitchHTX over on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook. You can find me on Twitter, aka X, at ChristianWitchX, which was done before the name change. But anyways, hi guys, good to be back. I'm sure you're all wondering what the heck, this dude has been gone again for weeks. Long story short, I got very sick and I was down for like 3 weeks. I was in the hospital for a bit. Yeah, I'm doing much better, but I'm sorry it's been a minute. I hope you're all doing well. I am excited to talk to you guys today. We're going to be talking about the magic spell, and I'm going to tell you how to create your own spell and all that kind of stuff. Have a conversation with you. If this is your first time finding me, hi, welcome to the Christian Witch Podcast. I'm your host, Chosen, and I'm a certified professional psychic medium. I'm a full-time medium, Christian witch, and I also am a pastor of an online church. Well, I'm a co-pastor of an online church called Christian Witch in the Craft, and I also have an academy where I train people internationally in witchcraft, healing, and psychic mediumship development. So I do this full-time. And this is what I give my life, life and time to. It's full-time healing work. It's all about healing for me. Everything I do is about healing work. So if you're into that kind of thing, feel free to connect with me at ChristianWitchHTX.com. I do full-time readings as well. So psychic mediumship, intuitive tarot, orographs, past life, life contract, emotional healing sessions, energy healing sessions, spiritual life coaching if you want to learn things one-on-one or just discuss things and receive spiritual and pastoral counseling and guidance. I also work with local police chiefs and do like criminal investigations and missing persons, cold cases, things like that. So I offer a variety is my point. And you can find all of that on my website, ChristianWitchHTX.com. You can schedule it yourself. I do things via video, phone, and email. So no matter where you are, I have clients all over the world, and it's my honor to serve you. So if for some reason there's a time zone difference or something, like, it should automatically update and we'll make it work is my point. Like, don't hesitate. Depending on where you are, it's still my honor to serve, and we will figure it out. So that being said, let's see, are there any updates I need to share with you guys? We are deep into the book finally, and the book will be out. I'm gonna try to have it out in less than a year. Maybe by the end of this year, maybe. Oh my gosh, maybe. Who knows? Maybe next year, maybe the beginning of next year. But regardless, we're working on it. If you want to be the first to know about that, there's a wait list on my website. Go to ChristianWitchHTX.com to get on that. And the 15-week magic healing course is coming up on the 12th of August. And the mediumship course is coming up on the 13th of August, okay? So the wait lists are on the website, and you can get on that wait list. The wait list is just who we send out the registration information to. We can only take so many people per cycle, and so it's kind of first come, first serve. So if you get that email, make sure you get signed up. So these courses have been just life-changing. It's been an incredible and humbling honor to be a part of this and see people step into their power, to see them step into healing, to see them just come back to life. So yeah. Hi, buddy. My baby cat's in here. Well, he's not really a baby anymore, but my cat just got on the couch. Not the couch, the cushion next to me. The seat. I don't know why I can't talk today. What's new? Sweet baby. Okay, anyways, so let's dive in. The magic spell. So what is the magic spell? All right, so the magic spell is... Uh-oh, there goes the cat playing with the toy in the background, if you can hear that. So a magic spell is a magic ritual or any magical act. It's a symbolic act of you doing magic, okay? So it's non-religious in nature. It often involves the use of symbols or symbolic actions, actions or acts of faith, if you will, words. It's a specific set of actions and processes like visualization to create a specific outcome, okay? So when we talk about spells, like, no spells are more powerful than your own, okay? Older spells doesn't mean it's more powerful than your own. To manifest your desired need, it must be desired to do three things, though. Okay, so it has to raise power, personal and spiritual power, or like power from nature. So there has to be a source of power. You have to raise that power, tap into it. Then you have to program that energy. Okay, so you could do this through visualization. And then you have to release that energy. You have to send it out. Okay, so in magic, we are partnering with the forces that create, we're partnering with the forces that make up creation in order to co-create an outcome. Okay, so as co-creators, we are exercising our authority, power, and dominion to partner with those forces in order to cause a change. All right, now all of those energies, the energies of the elements, the energy of God's pure creative power, that all, like the fabric of existence, like it's in us too. And so we do this by tapping into those places within ourselves. And then all of a sudden it's like that, it's like a direct connection. It's like we're stimulating that. It's kind of like a guitar string. Like when you, no matter where you tap into it, the whole thing vibrates. So like, we we strum that spiritual guitar string, if you will, and it resonates all the way through. It's like a straw almost, or a tunnel of energy, a cord, a thread, whatever you want to call it. We're tapping into that energy, and we're tapping into it in our self, and it corresponds to the greater reality that is out there. Okay, so therefore we're able to kind of create change much easier, not kind of, like very much so. It works more efficiently. All right, so some spells don't require words at all. Visualizing is what's most important, to be honest. So, like, intent is not all it matters, okay? So manifestation techniques that are just like, intend that this is going to happen, unless they're teaching you to to will and direct energy towards that thing, it's not going to be very effective. Okay, that's the difference between spells and generic, intent setting. Okay, intent is not all there is needed. You need power and a way to direct energy, and you have to know how to do that, right? This is why I'm always telling you guys, you have to develop your spiritual senses so you can sense the energy and manipulate it and tell it what to do. So words are meant to strengthen personal power. So I love a good spoken incantation. Some people call this the spell. It helps to rouse emotions and fine-tune your visualization, okay? So spells are a way of doing magic. And remember, magic requires those three things: intention, will, and energy, okay? So you got to know how to direct the energy. So that being said, when we talk about visualization being what's important, it is very important. But remember, your mind is where energy gets translated. So don't get hung up if you don't visualize super clearly, okay? A lot of people think they have aphantasia because they can't recreate an image solidly. My cats never play with this toy, and all of a sudden they're playing with it. So cute. Cut it out, you guys. All right. So visualization is not what people make it out to be. Yes, it can be incredibly vivid sometimes, but really, like for instance, if I say the word stop sign or school bus or airplane, if you can think about what that looks like, if you have a flash, if you would be able to describe something to me, that is where visualization takes place, you guys. It's our memory, it's our imagination, it's the imaging center of the brain. All right. So people think that because you can imagine something in the same spot, it must not be real. That's not true. Imagination does not equal false or incorrect. Imagination is the imaging center of the mind, okay? And remember, our minds don't understand pure energy. It's translating it into symbols we understand. So if I say the number 5, if you can think about what the number 5 looks like, if you were going to write the number 5, you would have to remember what it looks like, right? That's your third eye. It's open. Congratulations. Nobody's is closed. That's nonsense. It's just you don't know how to locate it. That's the difference. All right. So these are actually super deep, spiritual, mystical mysteries that I'm just revealing to you guys. But like, don't think just because it's so simple that it's not profound. People spend their lives figuring this stuff out. All right. So visualization is what's most important. However, it's more of experiencing through your spiritual senses. That's most important, not just seeing, okay? So even if you think you have issues with seeing or it's hard for you, if you can feel what it feels like to be in the moment that that spell is real, as if it already is. If you can smell the realities of having your desired manifestation. Let's say you're doing a spell for prosperity. Can you smell the fresh, crisp bills that you just manifested? What does the money smell like? Is it fresh and crisp? Does it smell like it's been, like wadded up in somebody's pocket that wears a lot of cologne? Like, what does it smell like? Think about it that way, you guys. What does it sound like to hear someone say, here's your check for $1 million? Like I'm being silly with, grand examples, but really I'm not being silly. We can do anything. So experiencing is what's more important, okay? All right, let's see. So how do you create a spell then? Well, by the way, I'm teaching you straight from my book of shadows, so you're welcome. So creating your own rituals is immensely satisfying. You can tailor spells to your specific needs. When I say spells and rituals, I'm kind of using that interchangeably, but there kind of is a difference in reality, and maybe I'll go over rituals at another time. But spells are the acts of magic you do in a ritual, okay? So the spells may be more potent because you make them as well, so don't think that if you read it in a book, it's more important. So I'm going to give you guys some guidelines here, and if you follow them, your spells will be as effective as any other spell that's ever been written, okay? Again, don't believe that old stuff is more important than new stuff. It's not. It's not true on any level, magically or psychologically either. So if you practice magic correctly, you'll have the results that you want, okay? You'll receive the results. So here are the steps, all right? So you're going to, in order to create your own spell, step 1, determine the goal. What is it that you want? If you're doing a spell for a new car, don't do a spell and focus on receiving money to buy the new car. Do a spell for the new car, okay? All right, so focus on the goal, not the means to getting the goal, okay? So if you're like, I really want these tickets to a concert, which means I need to get a job, don't do a spell for a job, do a spell for the concert tickets, okay? All right, so step 2, determine the element involved. All right, are you using all the elements? I use all of them all the time. I do, because they each correspond to a spiritual sense. So you have earth, which is touch, and you have air, which is smell, and you have fire, which is seeing, and then you have water, which is what is it? Tasting. And then you have spirit, which is hearing. And so when we stimulate all those spiritual senses, we're tapping in again to those elements that make up creation, because the elements literally make up creation, you guys. The elements aren't literally air, fire, water, earth, and spirit. Like, we are giving them those names because those are the qualities it reminds us of. But the elements, starting from the top down, okay, the elements all come from spirit, all right? Spirit is the pure creative power of God, all right? It is essence, it is energy, it is creation, it is consciousness. It is the pure, raw power of the creator, all right? It is then divided into 4 different facets, or subcategories, if you will. And those look and feel and have qualities that remind us of fire, air, water, and earth, all right? So it's not that, like, on the physical realm, yes, they manifest that way, but that's not what they actually are, okay? So when we incorporate all the elements, we're tapping into those places in ourselves, especially through the senses, and then we are calling upon the literal forces that make up our reality and every other layer we exist on, and then bringing forth what we want, okay? It's much more deep and powerful than you think. So that being said, determine the elements that are involved. Some elements have a greater role. If I'm doing a spell for my home, or something related to, comfort and material worlds, I'll use the earth. I'll give the element of earth a prominent feature in that spell. They'll all be present, but I will call upon the specific energy of earth to help make that happen, okay? All right, so step 2, determine the elements that are involved. Step 3, determine what materials you're going to need or what materials you're going to use. Are you going to use any at all? Like, are you using a candle? Are you using a potion? Are you using your wand, an athame? Is there incense involved? Is this a no tool kind of spell? Are there herbs, crystals? What are you doing? You know, are you writing something? Are you setting it on fire? Are you submerging it in a bowl of water? What materials do you need for this spell? And then gather those materials. Well, determine what you need. I don't have to gather them right now. Determine what you need, all right? And then step 4, determine the best time to do the spell, if there is any for you, okay? The easiest thing to pay attention to is the cycles of the moon, all right? So from the new moon to the full moon, it is best for bringing things forward into existence, for manifesting things, for bringing it in. From the full moon to the new moon, it's best for removing things, sending away, banishing, okay? So that being said, think about the first week of the waxing moon, so the growing moon, the best time to pull things in. The first week is for slower, more steady things. The second week is going to be more powerful, more intense as you get closer to the full moon. And then vice versa for the waning moon, for banishing, releasing, removing, sending away. That first week after the full moon is going to be powerful, and the second one's going to be slow, steady, more easygoing. Okay, so you don't really have to be concerned with the phase of the moon. You can look into planetary days if you want. You don't have to do any of that. Okay, I believe as co-creators, we can kind of exercise our authority, power, and dominion to neutralize any incorrect, harmful energy patterns or influences that would hinder us. Okay, so instead of having a fight upriver, we're just not dealing with the river at all, and we're just calling forward what we need. So yeah. All right. That being said, determine the best time to do the spell, if there is any. Maybe you're just determining, like, okay, I'm going to do this tomorrow night, not first thing today, after lunch, you know? All right, step 5 is to compose your incantation, whether it be a rhyme or just some specific words of intention. Remember to always state things as if they already are. You want to state things, affirm them. I am statements are super powerful, but state them in present tense, okay? Because here's the deal. We exist beyond space and time, and in some layer of reality, what you're wanting does exist and is already in existence. And so all you're doing is aligning with that existence. All right. So determine the incantation, my favorite part. Moving on. Step 6, you want to put everything together in writing on a page. So draft the spell, kind of like a rough draft when you were in school writing an essay. Just get it all on paper, and then you're just going to review and finalize the spell, gather your ingredients, and then, of course, perform the spell. So, and yeah, if you follow the plan and use the basic magical logic that hopefully you've accumulated by now. If not, there's lots of podcast episodes and books out there. But yeah, regardless, basic magic logic, especially just intent, will, and energy, and knowing how to send that out, you should be super successful, okay? So some of the tips on spell casting I would give you is, no matter what your spell is for, there's some wisdom that gets passed down. I think it originated from Sybil Leek, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, Sybil Leek. And after, as you do every spell, before you close it out, you want to say, in no way will this spell reverse or place upon me any curse. Okay? Now, before that, you want to qualify your spells. If you're writing words, you want to qualify your spells, and you want to make sure that you are saying, let this be done in a way that is pleasing and correct and acceptable to me. Or you want to say something like, let this be correct and for the highest good of all, harming none. Okay? This keeps things that are incorrect and harmful from occurring. So if you're doing a spell for a new car, it's not... grandma's not going to pass away and you're not going to inherit a new car. You don't want that to happen, okay? Now, that's a dramatic example that people give often in books and stuff, but it's easy because it makes sense, right? You don't want anything incorrect occurring, all right? So qualify your spells no matter what you're doing a spell for. Let this be done with the highest good of all, harm to none. Let this be done in a way that is pleasing and acceptable to me. Let it be correct So yeah. Um, okay, so some other information about spells. If you have a spell that you are, you're like, oh, I don't want that to be in effect anymore. All you have to do is pray over it and release the magic. Okay, just say, I neutralize and release all, or I neutralize and release the magic of this spell. Thank you for your service. Um, be released or be neutralized. And so be it. You can pray over it, or you can do another spell or petition spell to neutralize the other one. So think about it like let's say I send out a wave of energy. I'm just going to send out another one to ground and neutralize the one I don't want anymore. You can just visualize the spell with an X over it, cancel it. You can tell Spirit, please cancel that spell. Or you can write something that just says, there's actually a spell from Charmed, my favorite. Rest in peace, Shannon Doherty. You guys, I have been grieving that. Like bad, like really bad. Sorry, I started thinking about all all the amazing things she did in her life. But yeah, um, there's a spell from Charmed, and that works really well. You can adapt it to whatever you need to, but I think it goes, I think the way I do it is, Holy Spirits, hear my plea, annul this magic, let it be. You see how simple that is? Like, that is a great incantation, and you can combine it with a candle spell or just burn it or whatever you need to do. Make sure you're taking proper precautions if you're burning things. With candle spells, for instance, like, I almost burned the house down recently by accident. Total accident. I was taking precautions. It was on a plate. It was in a safe place. But in the safe place, somehow a little piece of fuzz, I don't know what happened, but it was just black smoke everywhere. So um, take precaution and don't leave it unattended, okay? All right. Is there anything else off the top of my head, Spirit? Um, Remember not to manipulate other people's free will, okay? Anytime you do that, it will result in something that is, just less than pleasant. Don't do it. Um, when you manipulate other people's free will, you're basically telling the universe, I'm fine with this, and so um, let other people do it to me too, basically. You're basically telling the universe, I don't really care about free will, and then that attracts realities that align with that into your life. So, yeah. Alrighty, you guys. So that is the magic spell, how to do a magic spell. And if you have any questions, ever have any questions, shoot me a DM on Instagram. You can always, connect with me there. It's easier for me to respond there as opposed to TikTok. So I'm always getting like bots and scams and stuff on there. But I love you guys. It's been great to do this episode. I feel like actually, I don't know. I love when things are practical. Like, I love a good discussion, but I also love to just give you guys things that work. So go try this. Let me know how your spells go. If you have any questions or topics you want covered in the future, let me know. And maybe I'll do rituals in a couple of episodes. I'll do rituals again. I do want to go over. Never mind. I'm not going to list off the podcast episodes we have listed already, but are written down already. But anyways, I'm rambling. I love you guys. Y'all have an amazing, amazing, amazing weekend. I hope that, it's Friday when I'm recording this. So it'll probably go up next Friday. So if you're hearing this, hi, happy weekend. I'm sending you guys so much love and blessings to all of you. Matter of fact, let's just do a blessing before we go out. Holy Spirit, I just thank you for your love and the healing and blessing that's going to occur for everyone under the sound of my voice. I just ask that right now your presence and your comfort be released over each of them. Let them feel, sense, have a tangible experience with the Spirit and of perfect love and truth. We just ask that the realities of the kingdom of heaven flow into every one of their lives. Let there be health, wealth, grace, favor, abundance, joy, peace, comfort. Let every door open. Let every path before them become straight. Let them see that they are divinely guided. There's no lack. There's no scarcity. There's no pain in heaven, and there shouldn't be here either. We bless everyone under the sound of my voice. In Jesus' name, so be it. Amen. You guys have a wonderful rest of your day, weekend. If you need to get in contact with me, ChristianWitchHTX.com. Make sure you follow me on Instagram and TikTok and all that fun stuff. But don't be a stranger. If anything, don't be a stranger. All right. Love you guys. Have a good one. Bye.